Assalamu alaikum guys. Right now, I want to share with you one of the most powerful moments that I ever experienced in my entire life. Without any further ado, Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah amma ba'd. So, this moment takes place in Mecca, specifically at the Kaaba. What time is it? It's Fajr time. We just prayed in an emotional prayer. The Imam recited in such a beautiful way, it caused the heart to tremble and the eyes to swell up and shed a tear or two. And as we say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and we come out of the prayer, I realize that I'm standing in a row right in front of the Kaaba and I'm surrounded by sinners. I have a drug dealer to my right. I have a brother who's got an offensive weapons charge to my left. I'm around sinners and they repented. And we walk around the Kaaba to see if we can spot any of our brothers who were on the Umrah trip with us. And suddenly I notice, again right in front of the Kaaba praying Fajr, another ex-drug dealer. I notice a brother who's an ex-fraudster. I notice a brother who was suffering from a sex addiction. All these guys and many more. And I think to myself, all of you lot were praying Fajr right in front of the Kaaba. First row, second row. Some were praying so close that one of them told me, listen, I was praying on the green carpet right next to the Imam. And that was a very emotional experience for me. Because I always wanted to be able to reach out in terms of da'wah to this crowd of people. Those who are the forgotten ones. The ones who have been neglected. The ones who people say, listen, you can't reach out to these people, man, leave them. I wanted to be able to always reach out to them. And for them to not just change and start praying their 5 daily prayers, but for them to become from those who are trying to reach the highest levels of paradise. I mean, front row outside the Kaaba Fajr time, that's a pretty high level. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. And alhamdulillah, those brothers, they made change. Some of them made such a drastic change that not only did they leave behind the drugs and the haram lifestyle, and he started to worship Allah, but they started to seek knowledge and left the UK and traveled to the Muslim lands so they could start to understand this religion better. And then lo and behold, we done a second Umrah trip, and we made mistakes in the first one that we learnt to not make again, and we learnt how to improve our da'wah to these brothers and provide a better spiritual experience from them, even though ultimately it's in Allah's hands. But we did our best, and we saw and we found that the results were even more spectacular. That the conclusion of the trip was even more powerful. We had even more criminals on this trip. We had even more sinners on this trip. We had at least 5-6 drug dealers. We even had one brother who prior to the trip was on the run from the law. And you know what? This time, they all made change. They all made change, alhamdulillah. And one of the brothers, who was actually involved in some serious criminal activity, he actually decided that he was not even going to go back home. He said from here, he wanted to go seek and study the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he made a U-turn from that point. He cut off all his friends and all of the criminal activity. And now he's on a path towards seeking knowledge. Brothers, this isn't a joke. Umrah with the mandem, with the permission and tawfiq of Allah Azza wa Jal, is a very powerful Umrah trip. One the likes of which we've not seen before. And this is an opportunity that I'm presenting to you to join us for our third trip. This is the last trip for the foreseeable future. We have a sister's trip that we're going to do inshallah ta'ala in April. Definitely not going to be doing another brother's trip like this for the public anytime soon. We've got too many projects going on right now. And we need to commit and give balance and time to everything. So adding another Umrah trip, it's just going to be chaos. For that reason, we as a team took the decision that for now, this is going to be the last one. And it will pain me. It will pain me so much to know that you were a brother who needed this trip and you decided to not come for whatever reason. Listen, if you're a person who's not so bad in terms of your spirituality, such that you're selling drugs in the streets and, in gangs, doing all sorts of madness, don't think that this trip's not for you. The only reason I give you that example is to show you that if it can help them with the permission of Allah and you are lesser in terms of sin, then inshallah, of course it can help you. Listen, this trip is a life-changing experience. Myself and my team don't put together projects unless we have an underlying factor. Life-changing. That's what it has to be. Knowledge Con we just done the other day. Ask the people that went, life-changing. Past 2 Umrah trips that we done, life-changing. Studying the deen that we done in the summer, life-changing. When we produce projects for the permission of Allah, it's life-changing. Listen brothers, change your life. Change your life. Come to the Umrah trip inshallah ta'ala. We've got 10 spaces left. Registration closing in around a week. Last trip for the foreseeable future. Everything is set up for you to realize and understand this is not a trip that should go past you. With that said, listen, I've got to love you and leave you and head out. I hope inshallah ta'ala you will go to the link below or call up the number inshallah ta'ala and book your ticket now. And listen, if you can't make it, then you can maybe help someone else go. We've got a donation link inshallah ta'ala where we fund and help raise money for brothers who need to go on this trip but they can't afford it. Either they got haram money, they can't come, or they don't have any money period, so they can't come. So we allow you to have an opportunity to earn some reward by sending them. Even if you can't fund their whole trip, even give £10, £5. Remember, if they change, when they change, you get the reward for all that they do after, inshallah ta'ala. If you were the reason why they done all that stuff by changing after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of course. Anyways, listen. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.